Half of the fun in Minecraft is exploring the vast open world in search of rare and valuable items. Actually finding a rare item is exciting and can drive a player to spend hour after hour in the Minecraft world, but some items are rarely found. Before we search for these rare items, be sure to hit that subscribe button for more valuable content from the gamer. Golden Apple. In Minecraft, food is a necessity in survival mode, and players often spend the majority of their time making sure that their character is well fed. If a player is starving, they cannot mine and perform tasks that they need to complete in order to advance in the game. Food in Minecraft is almost as important as good tools, torches, and armor. The elusive golden apple is a rare food item that players will likely never run across. However, it is a very valuable food source as it can restore 4 points of hunger. Golden apples can be found primarily in chests out in places such as desert temples, dungeons, and abandoned mine shafts. Along with restoring points of hunger, golden apples also have the potential to be used in conjunction with a potion of weakness to turn a zombie villager back into a regular villager. While they are a rarity, golden apples can be crafted using a regular apple and several gold ingots. Given that players would probably rather use their gold for other items, may have something to do with the rarity of golden apples. If a player is having difficulty taming a horse, however, it might be wise to use that gold to make a golden apple. Horses are tamed more easily by being fed a golden apple. Horse armor. Animals are abundant in Minecraft, and as any player knows, taming them and keeping them whether as a food source or as a mount is not only necessary but fun. Creepers and other mobs pose a threat to any player's animals, and it's important to make sure that they're safe. While riding around on a horse in Minecraft, players are certain to run into any number of mobs that threaten their horse's well-being as well as their own. Players, of course, typically have armor to soften the blow from any mob that they come across, so it only makes sense that their horse should have the same level of protection. Horse armor, however, is difficult to come across as a naturally spawning item. Primarily found in random chests out in places like Nether Fortress chests or village blacksmith chests, armor provides a horse with different levels of defense. Armor can be smelted as well as most items in Minecraft, but with a limited number of items, a player must weigh the pros and cons before wasting precious resources that could be used for more necessary items. If a player's lucky, perhaps they'll run across horse armor in one of the many abandoned chests that abound in desert temples. Diamond block. One of the ultimate resources in Minecraft is diamonds. Players need diamonds in order to craft several very useful items ranging from swords and pickaxes to armor and beacons. Unfortunately, diamond isn't exactly the most abundant item in Minecraft, and finding some is a laborious process that takes hours, if not days. Finding diamond in ore form is a main goal for most players since fighting the Ender Dragon obviously requires the best armor and weapons. Diamond blocks, however, are even more rare. Spawning primarily in obsidian rooms and lava rooms, players are unlikely to run across diamond blocks in any location that's easily accessible. Diamond blocks, however, can be crafted the same as most items in Minecraft. But it's more cost-effective to simply run across a diamond block rather than using several diamonds to create one. Do players need diamond blocks? Not necessarily, but they're a handy item to have. Diamond blocks are useful when a player needs to craft a beacon. While maps are great, beacons are clearly better since players who've lost their way can easily search the skies for their beacon in order to return home. On top of this, beacons can also give players powers or status effects just by being in range of their beacon. Music discs. While the soundtrack to Minecraft is a constant companion during gameplay, players can also create jukeboxes in order to play music discs and essentially override the gameplay soundtrack for short periods of time. The tunes found on these records are for the most part on par with the main music found in-game. But others, such as discs 11 and 13, are a tad unsettling. Mainly found in dungeon chests, music discs can also be obtained if a creeper is shot and killed by a skeleton's arrow. Long story short, coming across a music disc is a rare occurrence, and if a player is lucky enough to find one, chances are that they'll be hard-pressed to find another. There are 12 discs available to find in total, so it's not as if there's an abundance of music discs in the Minecraft world. Unfortunately, music discs, unlike jukeboxes, cannot be crafted by players unless they're running a mod pack that allows them to do so. Other than unlocking an achievement, music discs appear to have no value or real benefit to players in-game. But it's not as though listening to music can fix an arrow to the knee in the real world either. Wither Skeleton Skull. Along with the usual mobs in Minecraft, withers are also a threat, but a necessary one. Players can spawn them by utilizing soul sand and wither skeleton skulls in a T-shape and summoning the wither into existence. Why would anyone want to willingly spawn mobs? Well, withers have a propensity for dropping a Nether Star upon death, which is a much-needed item in Minecraft. While soul sand is somewhat elusive to find, gaining a wither skeleton skull is a bit more difficult. First, players must locate a wither skeleton, which are found in the Nether Fortress, a place that most players typically don't want to spend too much time in, as some of the mobs are a bit more aggressive than the average creeper. Upon locating a wither skeleton, players must attack it and destroy it. If a player is lucky, the wither skeleton will drop a skull, but with a 2.5% chance, players are going to have to take out a lot of other wither skeletons in order to get a skull. Seeing how wither skeleton skulls are necessary in order to spawn a wither, it's somewhat important that players are able to get their hands on one. Ghast Tear. If a player is in need of an ender crystal, they will either have to obtain one from atop one of the obsidian pillars in the end, or they'll have to create one from scratch. This is where ghast tears come into play. While ghasts are somewhat abundant in the Nether, getting them to drop a tear upon death is slightly more difficult. Ghast tears will more than likely never be found just sitting around and taking up space in an abandoned chest unless a player happens to be ridiculously lucky. More commonly, ghasts drop gunpowder upon being defeated, but will drop ghast tears at a lesser rate. If a player goes through enough ghasts, they should be able to obtain a ghast tear in order to complete whatever item they may need it for. Since ghast tears are used to make end crystals, they're pretty useful, although not naturally occurring. Ghast tears can also be used for other useful options, such as a necessary ingredient in mundane potions and regeneration potions. However, as the end crystal is a very useful item to have, as well as unlocking a few achievements, that alone should be enough to send players in search of a ghast tear or two. Ender pearls. Ender pearls, unlike some items, can be found in stronghold altar chests and trapped chests. While it is rare to come across them within the Minecraft world, it can be done. If a player has not come across an ender pearl in either of those chests, they can always hunt down an enderman. Found in both the overworld and the end, it's likely that a player will come across an enderman at some point during their gameplay. Unfortunately, endermen are neutral mobs, so some players can feel a bit of guilt for baiting them into a fight, especially when ender pearls are not a common drop even upon defeating an enderman. Are ender pearls worth the trouble? Well, ender pearls are used for a variety of items that a player may find necessary to gameplay. Navigating around the vast Minecraft world can test a player's patience, and an ender pearl can easily put an end to wandering the map aimlessly, at a price. With the ender pearl, players can utilize it in order to teleport, but it does cause damage to the player. Another use for ender pearls is creating an Eye of Ender, which is useful for locating end portals. Eyes of Ender are also used to create ender chests and are a prime ingredient when creating an end crystal. Nether Star. Since Nether Stars can only be obtained by defeating a wither, it goes without saying that this is a fairly rare item. A lot of work goes into spawning a wither, and if they do not drop a Nether Star on the first attempt, a player may have to summon a wither several times before they can obtain a Nether Star. Unfortunately, looting enchantments have no effect on Nether Stars, so using one is pointless when it comes to defeating withers. Nether Stars are very important when it comes to creating beacons, which players will definitely find useful in their exploration of the Minecraft world. Other than that, Nether Stars seem to have no other useful applications, but crafting a beacon should be enough reason for a player to want to obtain one. This is not an item that players will find sitting about in desert temples or hanging around in the Nether, and players should take extra care as Nether Stars can be destroyed by fire, lava, and cacti. Losing a Nether Star to any of the above will render a player's hard work useless, and they'll soon be back to spawning withers in search of another one. Dragon Egg. Simply put, dragon eggs are a trophy item, so players will not be able to find them in randomly generated chests at any time. In order to obtain one, a player must defeat the first Ender Dragon, which is no easy feat. Players have to spend ample time preparing for this battle before they can defeat the Ender Dragon sufficiently. After defeating the Ender Dragon, the dragon egg will appear on top of the exit end portal. But obtaining it and putting it into inventory is another battle in and of itself. Dragon eggs cannot be mined directly, since attempting to mine the egg will cause it to teleport. In order to get the egg, there can't be any air blocks for it to teleport to, which will allow a player to mine it. Dragon eggs emit a light source of 1, and other than being notoriously annoying to mine, they don't have much else going for them. Outside of being a trophy, dragon eggs don't have any other uses in-game. It seems like a lot of work for an item whose only use is bragging rights. But if achievements and trophies are what a player wants, the dragon egg will certainly hit the mark. Fully Charged Beacon. If the above items are hard to come by, what could be more rare than an item made up of mostly rare items? Probably nothing. Players already know that beacons need to be created with a Nether Star, glass, and some obsidian along with a few other items, and sure, beacons can be crafted with something other than diamond blocks. But if a player has come this far in order to create a beacon in the first place, why not go all the way and make it out of diamond blocks? A player will need 164 diamond blocks and a Nether Star in order to create a fully charged beacon. That's roughly 1,476 diamonds if everything goes according to plan, and Creeper knows how many hours of work it takes to obtain said items. On top of building the beacon, players can also choose to feed their beacon in order to gain powers while in the vicinity of said beacon. In order to do that, a player will need 1 iron ingot, 1 gold ingot, 1 emerald, or 1 diamond. While that is a lot of work to not only build the beacon but benefit more from it, gaining powers from the beacon is enough to drive a player to build one to completion. Well, there you have it. Have you ever come across a rare item in survival mode? What rare item have you been searching for? Did we miss any? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to click that subscribe button so you can watch more videos from our playlist. Thanks for watching!